The richer getting richer argument. It is often said that it's easier for those rich people with money to make more money, and the poor tend to get more poor. Now, to answer this question, you probably need to look at 2 points. So, the first is pretty much common sense, and it's actually referred to in Newton's laws, whereby he says that an object at rest tends to stay at rest, and an object in motion will tend to stay in motion at the same speed unless there's an external force which essentially moves it or creates some sort of additional momentum to it to make it move at a faster speed or move it from its stage of rest. So it typically is that if you're lacking or you're poor, you're static in a particular position or space, you're likely to stay there. But if you're moving, you're likely to move as well, because in fact, if you look at the Mothball Effect, a ball that's moving and gathering pace going downhill, it will tend to increase its speed and move at a faster pace and gather more momentum because it's already moving. So in a way, that is in itself a common sense or a pure sort of physics law that, wherever you are, if you're static, you will tend to stay there. But if you're moving and making progress, you will tend to move. So if you're moving in the direction of money or worth, even if you're not yet at the position that you want to be, just keep going because you will get there. You're moving in the direction. Another thing to consider is a piece of economics, because in any perfect economy, expenditure has to equal income. So even when you're running a business, whatever you're bringing in has to equal what is going out, or anything extra is the profit that you're making. So if you consider that concept, it means in an economy there are people who are consuming and there are people who are sort of producing what the consumers are actually consuming. So money will move in the direction of from consumers to producers. That's the fundamental laws of economics. So if you want to balance will always restore itself. So even when there is a lot of expenditure, it has to match the income and the receipts. So you need to be in the right section of this, because if you're in the expenditure side, where you're consuming and consuming, you can't create worth. You're actually transferring and moving your money to those who are producing, whereby if you're producing, that's where you're making the money. So don't be dragged into the consumer mentality. If you want to create worth and make money, you need to be yourself in the producer mentality, because you're not going to change the capitalist market or capitalist philosophy in our generation or in your lifetime. So all you can do is learn the rules, learn the system, and use them to your advantage, because you're not going to change anything. So that is the mentality. So those are the 2 points to consider, that worth will move, or the rich are getting richer because they've got that momentum, so it's easier for them to create more momentum. If you're static, you can't, you're going to stay static unless you shift or move yourself by other forces to develop yourself or learn. And also just the fundamentals of economics. You're just consuming, you're actually transferring that worth and money from you as a consumer to the producers. So get that producer mentality so that you can start creating worth yourself. So I hope that's been quite useful. So go out there, experience, learn and grow, and start producing and start moving and creating that momentum, so that you also can put yourself in that position of creating that momentum and getting richer, if that is what you're looking to be. So like I said, if you're moving in the right direction towards the riches of money or building worth, and you're not yet there, just keep going, because you've got the momentum and you will get there. So until next time, cheerio.